Oh, this is great.
Oh,
He says
good.
that he is swapping now.
Okay, alright,
I don't know
alright.
if that means that we're actually live or if he's about to tell us that we're live. Either way, I'm just going to start talking and it's going to be a really nice transition. I'm sure the
Yeah,
audience is going to love it.
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. We're
Okay,
live?
I think we're live. All
Let's
right. It's KotOR
go!
time, boys and girls and imbies. Alrighty, everybody. So, KotOR, call your mother, call your brothers and sisters, hide your kids, hide your wife. It's time for KotOR. Alrighty.
Oh yeah, baby! Let's go! Wait.
What's
Introduction.
up? You said wait.
Who are you?
Who am I? Who knows?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good point.
Anyways, we're making a character. We're giving up some stats. They're not really that important anymore. We skipped so much of this run. It's just all over the place. Alrighty. And, alright, we need to pick a good name, and I'm gonna pick the best name.
No, Werewolf wasn't here.
He's always here. He's here in our
He's
hearts.
here. Yeah, Werewolf is here in our heart.
Oh, yeah.
But we just
Anyway.
needed to be here in the leaderboards. Come back to us, Werewolf.
So yeah, here's what I'm gonna go and let y'all guys know here. I hear so many people complain about like, oh, KotOR any percent's complicated. Oh, KotOR's hard. Well, no, it's really very, very simple, and we're gonna be explaining everything right now, so you can also understand KotOR to its deepest extent, and what we're calling KotOR any percent, done simply.
You got it.
All right, and we're gonna start right about now. Oh, that was already an awful buffer. But anyways, that's called a save buffer. And so you see this game has what's called a dialogue queue in it. And the dialogue queue is basically how different cutscenes and such are getting queued into the game. Cutscenes and dialogue are essentially the same thing. And so by saving there, what's happening is that the dialogue queue is getting stuck between some quick saves. And so by loading quickly after the end of those quick saves, the dialogue queue gets cleared because the module is being reinitialized. So the cutscene never occurs. And we're giving Trask 2 guns there, because 2 guns is better than 1 gun.
So, this next trick is called a displaced loading zone, which is actually a misnomer, as nothing is really being displaced. What's actually going to happen is the character's x-coordinate is going to perfectly align such that the 32-bit single-precision floating point matches exactly with one of the vertexes of the transition door to the starboard section. And since the game struggles when checking edge cases for transition areas, it thinks that we already occupy that space at the far end of the module, therefore transitioning us to the starboard section early. Simple, right? So, what you just saw there was a hotshot, which is a super basic glitch found by Hotshot Wire. Every save in this game has a metadata file called a save.ifo. Whenever the load game menu is opened, the save metadata is initiated, populating the menu with thumbnails, save locations, and titles. Here, Lane is creating a quick save after the save metadata has already been pulled. The game is still attempting to load the old quick save on the command deck, but it is pulling the data for it from the new quick save he made. Therefore, the main character spawns in the previous location, the previous state, and previous statistics. There are other consequences and variations of hotshots, such as coordinate warps and forward hotshots, but we'll talk about those later. Of course, the consequence and purpose of that hotshot makes us unkillable. Though for the sake of the marathon completeness, I'll explain. Since the first module is a tutorial section, the main character has the Boolean statistic of min 1 HP, and so when we hotshot back, the MC reverts to the state they were in the last time they were in the module, thereby regaining the Boolean statistic. So when we displace load back to the starboard section, the on-module entry script that usually removes the min 1 HP Boolean no longer fires, so we keep the attribute and are effectively immortal for the remainder of the run. We call this plot armor. Now, you may have noticed the "Are you sure you want to exit game" pop-up that we are getting.
I accidentally reset.
Oh no!
It's just the timer. It's fine. Keep going.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, this was a trick found by our Steam runner Lane. It stands for Anywhere Menu Glitch, and it allows us to do a menu glitch, of course, anywhere. It's very simple to do. This game operates on a system of pause states. In general, all game pause events are toggles, meaning they switch the binary state of any given game pause level. Two of these game pause events occur at the start and end of saves and loads. I'm sure you guys are already thought of, well, what happens if we arbitrarily trigger a game pause event during a save or load? Well, my friends, that gives us a menu glitch. We trigger the game pause event by pressing Alt F4 in the middle of the save, and a pause is equal to an unpause. So our game becomes unpaused during the save, but then it is repaused after the save or load ends. Because of the second game pause event, which we will henceforth refer to as GPE, but since the end of the save or load also restores control to our character, that we can unpause the game manually. Now, we have the quick game confirmation pop-up with full control of our characters. Now, you're probably wondering, and I'm sure some of you have already figured this out, what good is having this quick game pop-up? Well, get this. The cancel button has yet another GPE, so we can select cancel at any point to arbitrarily trigger a GPE to either pause or unpause parts of the game that shouldn't be unpausable. So that's what he did there. We can also use an AMG pop-up to do a trick called pop-up replacement, which you just saw with the ICE or the infinite credit glitch. Pop-up replacement is featured in Hot Shots, Fast Lanes, ICG, and more. Essentially, we take our AMG and replace the "Are you sure you want to quit" pop-up with various other pop-ups to various effects. The glitch, the infinite credit glitch, uses a pop-up replacement to carry over the buy confirmation pop-up from the purchase. Now, I know we've all been in CSCE 312, but I'll give a brief overview. So whenever computers subtract values, it's really adding the 2's component of the value. So the 32-bit integer 132, which is the price of the Viper sword, gets put into its 2's complement as negative 132. This is put through a 32-bit ripple carry adder and applied to our credit count. Since our credit count is less than 132, this causes an integer overflow past the most significant bit. So this carries back into the less significant bits, resulting in an underflow, causing our parent credit value to be 4,294,967,295. It will appear as a negative value on the counter, but regardless, we can purchase whatever we want. What did we buy again?
We bought a Viper sword, but basically it's like first grade stuff, guys. You know, it's pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure we all kind of followed there.
Anyway, we skipped over another glitch, which is called a GP warp, which we're going to see it again in just a moment. Here, a GP warp. Oh, I'm getting a little mixed up in my lines. Sorry. The game was designed as such that party members were intended to stay together with each other. Whenever we enter a transition with any character or other party members are too far away, it will trigger a dialogue prompt informing us that we must gather a party to venture forth, which will now be referred to as a GP. Selecting this prompt teleports our selected character to the nearest UTW waypoint object named WP Transport. Well, since the game is actually paused during dialogues, we can use a GPE from an AMG to affect the GP. By AMGing the GP screen, swapping to another character and selecting the option, they are teleported halfway across the map to the nearest transit waypoint. Another method of doing this, found in our No Major Glitches category, uses safe buffers to swap to another party member before the GP trigger occurs, getting a similar effect. So here we're going to see Lane do this right now. So he's going to initialize the AMG. He'll hit the trigger, cancel, swap, and then he'll be able to use the GP warping Karth over. We also did a trick that's called, I'm brain farting right now, because all of this was done off the top of my head, obviously.
Yeah, totally. No preparation here.
So what we did there is a character warp. So there are some triggers that we hit which will warp party members over to it if it's not done by the main character. And there's other ones that are called character swaps. We're going to see another instance of a character warp here in a moment whenever we have Karth talk to the hidden Beck lookout by clicking on the door. If he clicked on the hidden Beck lookout itself, it would do a GP main character swap. Anyways, as we enter the Beck base, we get to show off the most powerful ability in the game, leveling up, or in this case, a fake level up. We call it that because we do a level up that's fake. This trick is really infamous in this run, but I really don't know why. I mean, you just level up, right? How hard could that be? To explain, a fake level up, or flu, is a way of tricking KotOR into allowing a character to level up indefinitely. This allows a character to accumulate skill points and get feats and force powers earlier than normally possible. In the most broad sense, a fake level up allows you to replace a lower level up with a higher one. There are several methods and variations of fake level ups, but in this particular circumstance, we will be performing by a security flu. First, in order to do that, we do need to reach level 4, so we need to kill Kira and a few Beck guards outside. So I'm going to wait a moment while we do this.
But yeah, y'all guys are all following, right? It's pretty straightforward, you know, like, I'm pretty sure y'all guys could have thought of this on your own. I mean, like, it's pretty apparent from just how things are going.
Yeah, so this is kind of the easy snore part of the game, so we got time for one donation here, I think. Okay.
Anyways, thanks for that, Chaos. I'm going to go and start up my fake level up here.
Awesome. So now that we have our level up here, I'm going to go through all the steps of the flu. So step 1, we have the right step for the flu. In this case, a target character, or TC, in this case the main character, who will gain the benefits of the flu. The target character must have a level up available. A second character, SC, who is in this case Karth. To initiate the flu, we start with the AMG as the player menu. We cancel said AMG to GPE and thus regain control of our character during this menu and then proceed to initiate the level up. Because keyboard controls have been switched back to character mode, we have to do this first level up manually, clicking on all the pop-ups and selections. When the first level is completed, reopens the player menu, properly restoring the menu controls. During that first level, we swap the party leader to Karth. This causes the level available boolean to be consumed on Karth instead of the main character, meaning the game still believes there is a level available. The first level we did was called a fake level, because in the player files they are still level 3, but in the loaded game they are level 4, and it registers with a selected attribute for this level of dexterity. Step 3, we flew until we reach the level that we want. So by continuing to level up, the level will never be consumed because it still detects that we need an additional attribute increase because the original one dexterity was never put into place. So we can continue leveling indefinitely until we get a different attribute, therefore satisfying the original requirements for the level. So the first 16 levels we were earning defeat every 3rd level and an attribute every 4th level, and now at the 20th level, which is ironically both a 3rd and 4th level despite not being a multiple of 3, because level 0 counts as a feat level, so it's really a 21st level and therefore a multiple of 3 and a feat level. But after level 20, which is really level 21, and a feat level and attribute level changes to the there's a change to the menuing between the first 16 levels and the 68 levels. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're leveling up 84 times here. Every single level is a skill level, so every level we obtain and save skill points, so we need to spend on a future level, and not on that level. So get on my level and realize the level of leveling Lane is doing here. It's quite impressive. Lane is performing this so fast by matching enter and up on the keyboard. On every attribute level, hitting right, thus the ASMR. On step 4, we finish the flue and selecting the skills, feats, and force powers we want to keep. So once we get to level 88, which is the last level of our fake level up, we take Constitution instead of Dexterity, which ends with the fake level up and allows us to keep the 258 skill points we banked up over the last 84 levels. We then put 45 into computer use, 7 or more into persuade, 91 into security, and this makes him computer savvy enough to hack any terminal for free, persuasive enough to not have to pay any docking fees, and skilled enough to be able to lockpick with a lockpick to open doors that are impossible to open. There are many more variants of the flue, from slow flues, the common cold, and skill overflow stacking flues. However, we certainly don't have the time to cover them all today.
Yeah, just like in, the casual playthroughs, It's just how, like, everybody else experienced playing KotOR for the first time. Pretty simple, I think anybody could probably pick that up on the first time playing this game, right? I mean, just from that explanation alone, I think it probably makes a lot more sense for all of y'all guys.
Yeah. So now Lane is doing a save here. He put it into a save file called Fast Me, which is in reference to the name of the glitch, the Fast Lane, which was also, of course, found by our runner, Lane, here. Now, we set up a couple of different saves throughout the game. Earlier on, you may have noticed that he set up a save in his save slot 2. I think that one you call teleport.
Yep.
That's what I call it, at least. And we now have to run in there and run back. What this does is it actually changes the last time that we were in these modules for purposes of hotshots. So, do you want to explain how the hotshot coordinate warping and all that kind of stuff works?
I would be happy to. It's a very simple concept. So you see, the coordinate planes in KotOR are all based off, a simple cardinal 3-coordinate plane, Cartesian coordinates x, y, z. Z being the vertical elevation and x and y being, your standard coordinate plane. And so what is happening is that oftentimes the walk meshes of these maps, that is the walkable terrain within the 3D models that make up the modules, overlaps with one another. So whenever we're doing a hotshot, because of the way our save info is moving, the party member coordinates are stored in their individual UTC files, which are of general file format in BioWare Aurora engine. And so since those each have their own coordinates stored separately, whenever our save data is being moved from one save file to another, it's loading them in those coordinate positions rather than the ones they were in the save file. So whenever we coordinate warp and have a hotshot, which we will be seeing whenever we get to Kashik, they're going to spawn in those coordinates in the other module instead of the original module. Simple, right?
Yeah, it's incredibly simple. We use it so many different times. Also, just to note, there are variations on hotshots themselves, including one that we just found out called the hotshotting forward. Now, the name hotshotting forward does come from KotOR 2, where we're able to go into modules that aren't necessarily in our game folder. However, Hotshot himself found another hotshot that gives us the ability to hotshot to any location that has an autosave. It's a little bit more complex, and unfortunately at this time is not used in the 80% run. However, we are looking into ways that it can be used for all quests and other runs. Also, Lane, we got to work on your swoop racing.
Yeah, that was pretty bad right there. I did a poor boost for the second gear shift there, but I didn't do the final gear shift, which is a trick known as the shift trick, which keeps, because of the way that the acceleration coefficient works in this game, by not shifting into the final gear, we actually stay faster as the swoop goes on.
All right. Now, we finished the whole entire first lap, and once we finished it, we found out that Anglu was faster than us, which is incredible considering we A, cheated by having a prototype accelerator, and B, cheated even more by not even going to the final tier like we were supposed to, which actually slows us down. So, even though Anglu beat us there, we're able to quit out and then talk to the mechanic again.
Let's do this the old way. I don't know why it's not working.
Oh, man. Lane is having some hotshot troubles here. It looks like he's going to have to do an old school hotshot.
Yeah, it just wasn't working for some reason. Maybe I'm going too fast.
Yeah. Guys, I swear, this game isn't complicated, okay? The
yeah,
way
it's
you're
very
understanding
simple.
it is how it gets complex.
Yeah, it's very just, natural stuff. Like, honestly, I don't know how people didn't just find this stuff on their own when they're playing back in 2004.
Okay, now, if you remember correctly, we got 91 security points. Usually we have to open this door with T3, who has a cutscene that triggers. But because it has a lock symbol on it, and we have the ability to open up impossible locked doors, well, at least up until level 101 tier impossible locked doors, which are a separate tier of impossible locks. Or 91, sorry, not 91, not 101. So at 91. So we were able to open that door just fine because we're just as smart as that little astromech droid T3. We're going to perform another GPU warp here in order to get to the back of the Sith base, and then move Karth over so he's just close enough to the trigger, allowing him to just basically go right through the door and teleport, because we're essentially a multi-universal being. We're going to fight the Sith Governor. He has no idea what's going on and has no idea what hits us, but he is still able to stun us because he's a Force user and they have special powers. Also, you're witnessing here is another trick which allows us to use grenades and be able to attack even though we're stunned in stasis. I don't know how to explain that one. I didn't take any notes on that one in class. So
what do you mean taking notes? Don't you know all this off the top of your head?
I just know how to do
Also, I'm getting orange juiced hardcore right now. This is...
Yeah, so sometimes the Sith Governor really likes to suck us, and it's really, really rough. Because it's 4 HP, and it's just not a good time. It's just always a time loss. Anyways, the character swapping, so if we tab around with our with whoever is stunned, we're able to still keep fighting. Or if you're stasis, you can still keep throwing grenades, but you can't fight. We're going to do another hot shot here, so this is another great example. So we made a hard save to the top slot, and we're going to then...
They're just not working for me right now. Alright, I'm just going to do it the old way.
Interesting. So yeah, we're going to do classic old-school hot shots. The new method was figured out, what, maybe like 2 weeks ago, or at least was implemented into the runs about 2 weeks ago.
Less than that, I think, actually.
Okay, so now we're gonna do two AMGs here and do a free look. So this,
I'm flexing
this gives us right. So this gives us control back of our character, which ends up causing cutscenes to end early. Now we'll do another AMG in Davik space, and so that way once he shows us the Ebon Hawk, we say, "Oh, can we take that for a ride?" And he says, "Sure," and just stands there and lets us go.
Should I put on the Sith armor?
Yes.
Sith armor is no longer required in this run. It used to be, but now we just do it for fun.
Okay, so now we're heading off to Dantooine to become a Jedi, but I don't think that's really necessary anymore. Since we figured out that we're actually a multiversal being, we're able to do DLDs anywhere we want, essentially. Well, anywhere that is applicable on the X coordinate plane.
Yeah.
So here we're going to do
You remember the explanation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could explain it again. Do we need another explanation about how DLDs work?
Well, we should probably stick to the route for now. I think they remember. They're smart.
That's true. There is a trigger there with, oh god, what's her name? I forget.
Belaya.
She's so... Belaya, yeah. Her, she's unimportant. I don't remember her most of the time. Anyways, we skip the trigger that she normally has where she tells you to make sure you put on your Jedi robes. But since we're wearing Sith armor, that's not important. And because Canderous is trying to talk to us, it overrides any triggers that would actually happen for cutscenes.
And this DLC should happen right about here.
There we go. Perfect. So, he did a DLC there. That lines up with the exit into the courtyard trigger. Now he's going to set up another fast lane and do another one of his patented...
Dialogue cues.
Yeah, the dialogue cues. So, that skips John from talking to us and telling about how he complains about the Mandalorians, and skips this Cat Hound trigger up here. Now, previously we were doing this using hard buffers, which is the technique that we did at the very beginning of the run. But however, it is kind of slow to do those like that. So doing it like this just prevents us from having to quick save and lose a little bit of time in the process. Looks like we have some bad Cat Hound RNG, but it's fine.
Pretty bad pattern there.
And now we're going to do. Is this our first fast lane?
Yeah, probably. I think it's been it's been about 10 seconds since I've done a glitch, so I figured I'd do something right here.
Yeah, so this is a door clip or a wall clip, and so we're going to face a 90-degree angle to the door that we're trying to clip past, transit out and transit back in. If done properly, then Canderous will be placed in such a position that he'll be able to be inside of it. Once he's inside, he can now go for the DLZ, which will put him inside of the temple, or not the temple, the ruins. And allow us to be able to skip going to get Juhani and any of that other junk. Oh, another thing that's worth mentioning is you might realize that our quick saves are incredibly fast right now. This is because we turned off VSync, allowing us to have a much higher frame rate than normal. We do this that way we can get really funky like it's like kind of funky movement and game collision. So essentially, since we're running at a higher frame rate, the game is letting us like move in like smaller, tinier increments, which is amazing for letting us be able to hit all of the DLZs that we want, because they require us to have an extremely precise X coordinate. All right, we do another hard buffer here to skip the door opening cutscene.
I can't AMG. Come on, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. And now we'll hit the star map to cancel out, quick save, quick load, and then we'll hotshot back to the Enclave. Alright, so another example of a hotshot.
I'm gonna try it again. There it goes. It worked this time.
There we go.
Yes.
Alright, so Bastila is going to talk to Vandar, which causes a character swap. So you'll see that now Bastila is back where the main character was standing next to Evanhawk, and now the main character is standing next to Vandar. Now when we talk to Vandar, it actually does the star map trigger first. It says, oh, you have the star map. Even though we still haven't talked to him the first time. But if we were to talk to him again after this cutscene plays, we would be able to have the cutscene that triggers that causes us to become a Jedi. But we don't want to do that. So we're going to quick save, quick load, which will cause Bastila to warp next to us for some reason, and then transit back, and then hotshot back, or we're going to fast lane back to get next to Evanhawk.
Yeah, these are the safe strats. I'm not doing the any percent strats right now because
yeah. All right.
So it's very simple, right? You know, it's like, you know, like that all made sense to everybody. So what we're going to next is, just as you probably all know from the people in chat, is that Kashyyyk is the best planet in every single Star Wars speedrun ever. All games, it's always the best planet. So we're just going to spend the entire mid game here at Kashyyyk. I'm sure the BF2 and LEGO Star Wars guys are going to love that.
Oh, we haven't explained map CS skips. We
That's
have
true.
another glitch to explain. So, map CS skips. If you remember correctly, when Lane was talking about hard buffers at the very beginning of the game, we were talking about the global fade-in timer. Okay, right? That's the correct term for it.
Something like that.
Yeah, global fade-in. So essentially, during that global fade-in timer, we're able to click on one of the menus in the top right-hand corner and then be able to still access that. So we'll load into basically one of the what are they called? It's the specific module name. It's the they got weird names.
Stunts?
Stunt modules. Yeah, one of the stunt modules, which is basically where the cutscenes take place. We'll load into one of those, and we're able to hit our return to Evanhawk option.
First coordinate warp coming up.
Yeah, we're about to do the first coordinate warp. Okay, we'll come back to that later one day. So we're gonna do the first coordinate warp here. So this is a hot shop with purpose. We're going to move Bastila into a specific set of XY coordinates. In this case, it's going to put her. We're going to do a level up here first. We're going to put her right behind this Zerka guard, which puts her at a specific spot later on the what is it called? The Great Walkway. I almost called it the Great Bridge. That's the wrong name. That spot is actually close enough that when we do our GP warp, she's closer to the transport that is next to the elevator than the main character is. However, the elevator, since it's a dialogue and not actually a transit zone, she's able to still access it and warp downwards instead of having to get the main character all the way over to her.
I better get counting because there's about 7 whole seconds here where we don't do a glitch.
Yep. All right, and then once we do this glitch, we're going to do an AMG, and we're going to do another free look in order to walk past. Oh, you're not going to free look. You're just.
I never free look this. Nah, free looking's for babies. Just know where you're going.
I just want straighter lines, man. And besides, you can move Bastila by doing some multi-target stuff. All right. So now the main character is going to head over to the Zerka guards. Since we are basically this multiversal, omnipotent, all-knowing, omniscient being, we already know that Jolie won't accept our help unless we go and deal with these
This is a
Zerka
bad
guards
pattern.
first.
Very bad Katarn pattern.
Yeah, we don't know exactly how Katarns goes, so they're beyond multiversal.
Yeah.
Okay?
They don't
Very
understand
high
how
power
big our
level.
minds are. They aren't smart enough to understand hot-shotting.
Yeah, so now we're going to talk to these guards, and with our really, really big persuade of 7+, we're
Well, actually,
going to
the
be able to
persuade doesn't
talk-
matter here at all. It's the 10 charisma.
Oh, that's right, we look nice.
Yeah, we look pretty, so they let us endanger them.
Yeah, so they let us turn off the emitters, and these emitters will basically allow them to allow the wildlife to flourish again, and also leave them totally unprotected. So now we get Jolie. Jolie is basically the only guy who could open up this force field.
Also, Basilisk spawned over here.
Oh yeah, there was a character swap that happened because Basilisk was located next to Jolie, and then once we had Basilisk talk to Jolie, that swapped Basilisk with the main character who was over next to the emitters. So we're going to use her to go and talk to the force field over here.
All right, and now for the simplest part of the run.
Yeah. So up next is so next up is the Kashyyyk Starback sequence. During this, we do 5 fast lanes, 4 hotshots, and 3 what we call the routine. What's the routine, you ask? Well, of course, it's very simple. So the way saves are structured in this game is that they are segmented into these pieces called modules, which are stored in the quick access encapsulated resource format, ERF for short, inside the save file. Whenever the game is running, the ERF modules are loaded into the game in progress folder, and the current active module is loaded into the current game folder. So by using You doing all right there?
Yeah, it's okay. I just made a mistake. It's good.
Okay, all right. Well, so by using an AMG to pop up a place to return to main menu pop-up and opening the load game menu at the same time, we can open the load game menu behind the main menu. We then navigate downwards and load the autosave. While inside of character creation screen, we then immediately quick load to return to where we started. Excuse me. We then immediately quick load to return to where we started the routine. Now we are at the quick save location with the main menu over the gameplay. So we menu shift by, actually I'm going to go back and repeat this whenever you're doing it. Now we're going to just talk to this dude here. He knows the star map. He lets us open it by just saying 1322115144141. But yeah, we then hot AMG back. So okay, I'm going to just repeat this whole thing. I memorized the whole entire thing going on. So anyways, so by using an AMG to pop up a place, the return to main menu pop up and opening the load game menu at the same time, we can open the load game menu behind the main menu. We then navigate downwards to load the autosave while inside of the character creation screen. We then immediately quick load to return to where we started the routine. Now we are at the quick save location with the main menu over the gameplay. So we menu shift by opening and closing any menu to give us full character access while in the main menu. And then we start a new game. Side tangent, this process of starting a new game causes the game in progress folder to be purged because a new game has no modules loaded into it. So now once we are in the character creation screen, we create a quick save. So this commits one current game to the quick save, but is unable to commit the current game in progress folder to the good lord. But is unable to commit the game in progress folder to the quick save, what with it being empty and all. So we have to close out of the program entirely in order to avoid a fatal game crash. However, there's another variant of this that reopens our options menu over top of our main menu, selects exit game, hits enter while selecting the movies on the main menu, while simultaneously hitting enter on the exit game menu option beneath the movies menu, pressing escape to leave the movies menu, and thus leaving only the exit game pop-up, which then returns you to the different main menu instead of the glitched overlapping main menu we were using, to give you access to a normal main menu without having to quit the game. However, Lane isn't doing this because he's slow. Anyways, we then simply load the quick save we made. Since the game in progress folder was deleted, this save contains nothing but the module we were in at the start of the routine. This means that the timeline where we obtained the Kashyyyk star map didn't happen. Our character remembers it and thus has the forbidden knowledge that K star map equals 20. But the Kashyyyk star maps is oblivious to our multiversal power scaling. So, by returning to where there is an alternate timeline whereby opening the star map increases K star map by 10. We repeat this 2 more times to create a grand total of 4 alternative timelines, and obtaining the knowledge K star map equals 50, which is where the Star Wars location lies. Anyways, the rest of this game is trivial, so all other glitches will be left as an exercise to the viewer.
Okay, I messed up that last routine there, so I need to redo it real quick. But yeah, so it's just like I feel like my grandmother did that when she played this game,
Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the routine. That's the final big boy glitch of the run.
Have you been keeping count of my star maps? Because I have not.
Oh no.
That'll be fine. I think this is the 4th one. This is probably the 4th one.
Probably the 4th one. I think I've seen like 3.
I'm gonna have to redo this quick save again. Quick save.
All right. So obviously, I was reading a script. For context, that was 2,280 words of the script, and I kind of threw in some other stuff on top of that. So that was a lot to say.
All right. Let's hope that was 4 star maps. If not, that'll be fine. If not, I'm here. I'm gonna make a hard save just in case I get here because I was not keeping count. Alrighty.
Here we go.
Moment of truth. Oh, don't close that.
Now, if Lane did the new version without having to quit out, he wouldn't have to actually switch his menu to get that.
All I hear is wah, wah, wah.
It's faster! Alright, we did it. Alright, so we're gonna do another, we're gonna do a...
We're gonna flex on Malik here. You see
Yeah,
me flexing here?
Yeah, we teleport to watch him.
And that sent us to Purgatory. We get sent to Hell because of all the glitching we did, but we can get out with a return to Ebonhawk.
Yeah, which is technically a, one of the what is it called? The map CS skips?
Ah, kinda. It's close enough.
We're in a stunt module.
I guess. Alright.
Alright, now we're hoping to get lucky.
Yeah, fighter encounter!
Alright, so by getting a fighter encounter, we're able to, so on the load-in for the fighter encounter, we AMG, and then we do another Alt F4 on top of that, so that way whenever we cancel that, we're able to open up our menus. And by doing so, since we're in a stunt module, we're able to return to Ebonhawk just like any other map CS skip, which allows us to return to the Ebonhawk based off of our current planet module variable.
So as you guys probably remember from when we explained earlier, we are invincible, so I didn't just die from that Rancor there. Also, we're still level 4 and not a Jedi. Just, reminders.
Yeah. So now we're going to do another GP warp, this time using Jolie. Oh, and then hopefully Lane will be able to get Shoal Skip. He does.
Giska love, boys. Giska love.
Let's see some Giska love.
I mean, we don't have the FFZ for this channel, but I mean, it's still it's important.
people just type Giska love.
What?
I want to see Giska love in chat, even if it's not there.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna do. Are you gonna do the DLZ or?
I'm gonna get bored. The DLZ is a little too monk-esque for a marathon.
Okay. All right.
What?
So we do another GP warp here, and then we're going to do. Wait, what are we doing here? Oh, we're gonna do a fast lane. Okay.
Yeah,
There's a whole bunch of different trains of thought about how you want to do this skip here. The one that I've gone for a while involves 2 GP warps. However, there's also a DLZ option, and there's a fast lane door clip for the barrier. Here, we're also going to do another fast lane to do another door clip, performed just like the original one that we did back on Dantooine. However, you can also do another DLZ for this too.
Oh, I got the autosave thingy.
Okay, so now this is something that I don't understand.
I don't either.
Yeah, for some reason, after we do the routine, there are times and cases whenever you do that fast lane in this particular module, and we haven't found any other cases where this happens, where we'll go to the initialized spawn location. Like, it's basically like where you would spawn in if the game doesn't understand where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, it's the module IFO coordinates. It's
Yeah.
weird.
So, but like it's not guaranteed, and it's just random, and we don't, that one's not gonna be on the test, guys. You don't have to worry about that.
All right,
okay?
and guys, get ready because we're about to go ice skating. So everybody type ice skating in chat. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 da. Alright, and that was our ice skating, and now we're gonna go talk to Basila and tell her that we're very, very evil and bad, and we want to do very evil and bad things with her.
We've been a bad boy in this run.
We've been very naughty.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
to be totally honest, we've been totally morally gray. We've actually done basically nothing the whole run.
Yeah, I mean, we did kill Ganon and Kira.
That's pretty, that was pretty messed up.
Yeah. I mean, we could have gone into the Volcar base and just committed genocide on all of them, which would have given us light side points. But instead, we decided to kill 2 gang leaders instead.
The fact that you said genocide there suggested the Volcars are all related, which I think is really funny.
Well,
I mean, they're part of a group.
We want to take the Hyper Adrenal.
Even
Is that
though
the right one?
Gives us nothing different from the regular alacrity.
Why do I have a strength? Where did I get that strength from? Must have been like random loot or something.
Yeah, so now we're going to repair the hyperdrive, which is why we got the ship parts earlier, and we're going to now be able to head off of Lahan and do a cutscene skip here. And any other category, you'd have to watch 2.5 minutes, but we don't have time for that today because we are.
Oh, you don't have to watch the 2.5 minutes in All Quest.
Oh, and All Quest, yeah. All Quest. All right. Now, oh, you don't have a little trigger there? Oh, okay, all right. Somehow skip that one. All right.
It's because I'm smart.
So, we're gonna do another hard buffer here to skip over the Jedi and the Sith fighting each other. We don't have time for that. And we're gonna leave Darth Waifu there, right next to the Ebon Hawk.
Dude, we're gonna be way underestimate. I really overestimated this.
Okay.
Oh, I did this kind of backwards. It's fine. Lacquerty. There we go.
Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, so we're going to do another GP warp here, except this time we're going to carry onto it so that way we can do some micro movement, micromanagement. While the main character is walking towards these doors, we're going to take advantage of the ability of Bastila to ice skate here. So she's going... Okay, so she's doing that, and then the main character will open the door, and then we're going to do some more ice skating.
Oh yeah, you gotta love Darth Waifu.
Alright, so the main character will now do what we like to call the Red Sea skip. So there's these two assault droids, and KotOR has a really magnificent way of just kind of letting you walk past things that you shouldn't be able to walk past. So while, like for example here, Bastila is going to try to go past these two assault droids, and she does. And then once she actually gets to talking range with the assault droid that we selected, we'll be able to reuse the main character again to do another GP skip. We're going to now set up a save with the main character with him standing in a specific spot that we'll be using later. So, as part of the coordinate warp setup from before, if the XY coordinates of the party members don't actually exist in the module that you're warping towards, they will then spawn next to where the main character was standing in the save that you're hotshotting to. So in this case, we want Bastila to get to that XY coordinate where the main character was standing for a later hotshot warp. Bastila will now run over to this specific spot here for the GP warp. That puts her closer to the transport section, while the main character was doing some good old ice skating. And now the main character will walk and do the same transport GP skip. Okay, after all this is said and done, we're now going to do a hotshot in order to put Bastila into a certain set of coordinates, like I was referring to earlier, and then that also allows her to get a coordinate warp. So we save to the teleport slot here, load our hotshot 1 slot back in deck 1, hotshot back to there, putting Bastila into that spot, and then whenever we hotshot back, she'll be in the actual command center. And that allows us to skip that whole section there, and puts her close enough so that way when she GP warps over, we're able to get her very close. So we're going to do that right now.
Oh, I got the cutscene, so good thing I buffered there. That's a safety strat.
Oh, you did? Ooh.
Yeah, that happens occasionally with this new hotshot setup, where these guys will occasionally talk to you. That's brand new, by the way, guys. Like, I think on my run's the only one that has that on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Alright, so now, similar to the Red Ski skip, but a lot simpler, we're going to walk right past Malik here, and we'll do another cutscene skip here, and quick save and quick load as soon as we see Malik walking.
So you guys are probably wondering, why did we go dark side? Well, that's because Bastila comes with explosives. She has a very explosive personality, and that's how we're going to deal with Malik, seeing as we are a level 4 beta scoundrel right now. So.
Alright, so... now, unfortunately, she only gives us 10 thermal detonators, which is just barely enough for us to be able to actually defeat Malik here. You need, like, at least 9.
Oh, I threw a concussion at him. Whoops, I have extra.
Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, the main character got shot, not him.
Oh, well, whoopsie. I'm gonna...
Now, luckily, if the case happens whenever we run out of thermal detonators, Bastila does have has throw lightsaber, which does do guaranteed damage. And even if for some reason Bastila went down, whoa, that was really early. Whoa!
That was a great Malik, actually. What the hell?
Okay, so now once we do the first dialogue here, pressing enter, we can quick save, quick load,
and that's
which
time.
gets the second frame of the fight, and it's time.
Hell yeah! And that is KotOR. Yeah, that is not a PB, by the way. I accidentally split when I got the Indar Spire because I'm used to having splits. But, yeah. So it's this is actually about 2 minutes behind my PB, but still, that was KotOR. Super simple, but as he said, the title of the stream is KotOR 80% Done Simply. Because that's, you know, the very simple approach there. I'm sure everything made sense, and I couldn't imagine anything would be confusing about that at all. Yeah, that's...
do you want to go over some shoutouts of the KotOR community real quick?
I have so many shoutouts. I could probably speedrun shoutouts right now, dude.
Let's go. You have to go through your shoutouts as fast as I was going through it.
Alright, so first of all, I want to shout out my commentator, Chaos Drifter here. Chaos or Alex Wiggins, super great guy, love him. You know, good close friend of mine. Also want to shout out Indie Kenobi, who is also nicknamed Dad Kenobi right now. He just had a kid, which has made him kind of MIA at the moment, but we all love him dearly, and he's done so much for this game. Shout out Glasnock, who got me really into speedrunning in general. He's the OG runner of this game. He's been around for ages. Shout out Shoal, the meme champion. He's great at doing memes. Shout out Range, or You Don't Know My Range, or Ranch, or whatever you want to call him. He's very good at this game, and has been really pushing the time. Shout out 30. He did a whole lot of pushing for this game about a year ago. Warwolf is awesome. He basically taught me this run. Sheet Metal's awesome. He basically taught me this run. C-Dubs is great. Mimic was the first ever person to run this game. Sanjan, super cool person and a very talented speedrunner in general. Will, super chill guy. Did a lot of all quests back in the day. Zero is a God, I'm getting choked up. Is a Halo runner who's recently jumped into this game. Then we also have other notable people such as Deathery, Build, Letterwords, Jackie Boy, Soberlight, McMahon Guy, Luffix, Weeks, Cat Eater, Old Oak.
Did you mention Hotshot?
Hotshot, yes, we've mentioned Hotshot a million times doing this one. Hotshot Wire is an insane glitch hunter and a great friend of mine, and has done so much for this game. Alec K47,
Luffix.
school guy. I already mentioned Luffix, you just didn't notice.
You did?
But no,
Oh,
Luffix
okay.
gave us DLZs. He's also really awesome. Shout out to BMAC Attack for putting on this thing and working with me and all the other Jedi Council members for putting together the Discord, the Connected Star Wars Discord. Shout out to Aori, because I always have to mention Aori. He's very important. Shout out to God, there's so many others.
The KotOR community is vast. There's a whole bunch of us, and we're a very, very active Discord. Even though there's only 2 games, there's so much going on in just every single capacity. I think one of the coolest things that's honestly going on right now with us is we have a KotOR randomizer. Do we have a bunch of extra time?
Let's see. We ended at 35. I accidentally split around 2 minutes in, and we've been talking for about 3 minutes. So I'd say we have about 5 minutes remaining.
Okay, why don't you show off a little bit of the KotOR randomizer to the people? Because I
don't know if I have a build of the randomizer on this PC that's working right now.
Oh, you really don't? You don't have anything right now?
I mean, I could
no.
I could load up Visual Studio and compile something, but I think that's probably not the way to go. Shout out to Nashville Studios. Nash is a great guy. Like, yeah, he's an awesome person. Is always around. Yeah. Lane, do the thing. That's true. I could do that. I could do the thing.
What are you doing?
We talked about this, Chaos. You were in this voice call.
I
think I still have the saves for it. Do
Are
I?
you talking about, are we doing the hotshot forward?
Yes. Okay. And let me see if I can remember how to do this. So I need the autosave needs to be here.
So, as we all know, the most important and most influential character to everything that is KotOR is Trask. He did everything. He sacrificed his own life to protect the one that he cared about most, the man who would save the Republic. So, now, we will save him. Using our multiversal powers, we are able to take him onto the Starforge with us in order to be able to have the final confrontation with Darth Malak.
I'm skipping this cutscene because I don't want to watch it.
Lane's a cheater, so he skipped the cutscene.
Yeah, I used cheat codes to skip that cutscene. Anyways, here's Trask on the Starforge. He shouldn't be able to get here. He shouldn't be able to get off the Endar Spire, but he's alive. He doesn't have anything to say to us, though. I'm not going to be able to do a whole Endar Spire right now, seeing as also I can't defeat Malak because I'm a level 2 scoundrel with no grenades. Trask, the true Darth husband. Anyway, though, this has been KotOR. This is really awesome. Please be sure to check out our Discord. Could somebody please post a link to that in the chat whenever you can? And also, the next run after me is going to be by Darklight Boko, Boko is also a pretty good friend of mine. I've lurked his streams for years, and he's an outstanding Battlefront 2 runner. Honestly, just shout out to the entire Battlefront 2 community in general, because all the Battlefront 2 guys that I've met over these past months have been really kind and really awesome, you know, between Deficit, Instant, Teneb, and the others, Neveryear. Yeah. Oh, Lacko. I can't forget Lacko. Oh, my God. But anyways, so yeah, they're going to be awesome, and you're going to get a whole lot out of them in just a moment after this run wraps up. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to mention. Oh, yeah, this game, as much as we memed during this run, it actually is pretty accessible. There's a little bit of a learning curve for any percent, but we have a very comprehensive set of guides, and we were purposely making this sound a lot more complicated than it really is, just to have some fun. And yeah, we would love to get more runners involved. And if not this, there's also easier categories such as no major glitches and glitchless. And we'd love to gather people in. The SRC guides are complete, and our Discord is filled with people that all desperately want to help. And with that, I think that's about it. BMAC, you can just let me know when you've cut me off. Yeah. Do.
Thank you very much, guys. That was amazing. And